Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I'm in front of Civic Center, in front of the bus stop, the 910 or the 9, I think it's the 910 Gateway, and I'll catch another bus after that. But it's a beautiful day out here, man, in downtown LA. I got word from my uncle that the funds were sent, the transfer is done, so that is perfect. I could be able to get the money at the bank along with the card. I don't know, man. I'm just rolling with God, man. It was a really interesting train ride over here. It was a man who was a bit out of, his mind, leaning up against the door, kind of talking to himself, and then a girl got on the train with loud, blaring music and stood right next to him. So I was wondering if he was gonna go crazy, but he didn't. He was cool. But her frequency was very different, man. Some people, you just tell they overly, either they high as hell and it's making them very spiritually keen, or they just naturally like that. But I think she was off of some very, very interesting weed or something. It looked like she was high. I had been where she's been. I've smoked a lot of different types of weeds, but she was very, very intuitive to everything that was around her, and yet her music was so blaring, it was almost like she was trying to make it annoy people or something. But she was playing stuff I like. So it wasn't bothering me that much. But it was just really interesting how her energy was affecting some of the people around her, and how she was picking up on me, picking up on it. Some people just like to run social experiments. They're not crazy, they just act crazy because they're bored. She looked like one of those to me. But nevertheless, I'm just rolling with God at this point, because I know that he's already told me he's gotten this under control as far as the specifics of what I got to do. So if anything, I asked him to just allow me to enjoy my day. Before I knew of what was to come, I asked the Lord, can there be a way I enjoy my day? And so far, after getting off the train, looking around, it's only about 1:35. I'm on time for the bus. It'll be here in about 10 minutes or so, hopefully. My question is, am I going to find my way back home? But as far as getting there, it shouldn't be a problem. It's just catching buses on the way back that can get a little tricky. But as long as I can find my way back here, I'll be good. So it's about the next two buses that I catch from here. This one that's coming up, and then the one afterward. So I can catch that J910, which I've never even heard of until now. And then catch another bus from the Gateway when we get to Harbor Gateway. So all of that should leave me there before 3 o'clock. They close at 5, so I should be fine. I called the lady to make sure that I can make the duplicate of my thing. All she said is I needed was my my ID card to get the duplicate of the debit card. So it shouldn't be nothing for me to get a debit card from them. And I'm excited about what this year is really supposed to bring. I feel like this is a carryover, as I was telling you on the previous video. This feels like a carryover from the devil trying to attack me one last time in 23. God has an entirely different plan for 24, I'd imagine. And even though I got to finish the carryover from 23, I don't think 24 is going to be about what 23 was. I don't think so. I don't know where the Lord is taking me. I don't know what his intentions are, but I don't feel nearly as bad about 24 as I did 23. I just have different paths of peace in regards to meditation, in regards to just my discipline and where my spirit is. Trusting God, I'm going into this year is so different in regards to my faith and my relationship with God. So it's like, I'm almost excited about what the Lord wants to do. Now that I feel like he's taught me so much and he wanted me to learn, now it's about what does he want to do. And when you know you haven't done anything wrong per se as it pertains to what's going on in your life, I think the better version of myself would like to communicate better with others. Maybe communicate better with my uncle to let him know exactly what everything costs. Communicate better with the front office so they knew this was coming. But outside of that, I ain't like I did anything that would otherwise make it so that people should look at me in any way other than on the up and up when it comes to what just happened here. And so with that being said, it's like, okay, well, the devil, the enemy, wants me to think otherwise. But I know I ain't did nothing wrong. I got frauded, thus putting me in a position to not have my card. And my uncle didn't do anything wrong at all. We just didn't have the understanding of what the amount was. And like I said, for me, that's me communicating better to let him know that I took on a more expensive unit this time. To no fault of my own, is either take that unit or don't take any unit, because that's all they had available. So that's just what you have to settle for when you're there. And the prices, now he has a better understanding of what the prices are if it's going to be maxed out. $461 a week. Although you literally never spend that when you sign up for that, because they always have such fantastic discounts. The first week was like $2 something. Second week was like $3.99 based on the discount they just gave me. And I think this day will also be $3.99. But I told them just to be on the safe side, that I expect $461 to be what it's going to cost most weeks if I have an AC unit, and $360 for most weeks if I don't have a AC unit. So we can just expect for a AC unit every time. But you know, that, like I said, it's outside of that communication. I don't think there's anything I could have did differently. You can't help when people are going to fraud you, man. the ATM, I guess they took my information out of the ATM and tried to run a transaction out of my checking account, and luckily enough, it wasn't enough in there for what it is they were demanding. And Navy Federal caught it. I don't know how they were able to differentiate it wasn't me. Maybe they can run my where I'm at based on my phone, and then run the transaction to see if I was anywhere near that area. Maybe that's what they did. It's the government, so who knows how they're able to figure out that it wasn't likely you made that transaction. But I'm glad they were able to catch it, and in most situations it wouldn't matter if my debit card wasn't here. But I have one of those rare situations where I need my debit card, not the ability to use my debit card electronically, but to actually need the card itself. It's just rare. Most human beings in my situation won't need it, and if they do need it, they won't need it right away. And if they do need it right away, this won't fall on a holiday to keep them from getting it right away. So all of this was just lined up. It's like we always talk about the timing of things. This was timed out perfectly for the enemy to attack me. It's nestled perfectly in my circumstances. It's almost like somebody knew who I was, wasn't appreciative of what I talked about, and put me in a position to have this happen to me. I mean, I almost feel like that's what happened. Like somebody was just pressing buttons like, yo, this guy is doing too much to hurt our situation. If anybody would ever find out who he is, boy, would he cause trouble for us. But I'm just like any other person who's whistleblowing that nonsense that they're doing, man. I'm no different. I'm just a human being who doesn't like what I see, and I speak up on what it is I don't see, what I do see rather, based on my understanding of what it looks like. You know, not to say that I'm certain there's a conspiracy against me or something like that, but I mean, the timing of all of this, for this to happen when it did, and for it to happen in the way that it did, and for it to happen through the government's banking program and all of that, it's just like, you know, maybe somebody just wanted to give me a big FU for the holiday. I don't know, but whatever the case is, I'm making a good day out of it. I'm gonna have what I need so far as so I can get on this bus and get to where I need to go. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I'm actually happy to be out. Happy to be somewhere else. Make a day out of it, you know. But that's really what it's about, man. We just make a day out of everything. And if God wants to do something, then we align with what he wants to do. Align with what he wants to do. That's it. Everything else is just water under the bridge, or me handling it however I feel about it with my emotions. I can be upset, I can be happy, I can do whatever I want. Either way, the same things have to happen. So I think if anything, I'm ready to meet the challenge of whatever is in front of me. What's in front of me? Go get your debit card. Make sure you come back with what you need in regards to the debit card and plus. And then, you know, get back there, pay them what they are owed. And when the debit card arrives in the mail, probably tomorrow or the day after that, cut it up. Because I will have already had one if everything goes smoothly from here until the next process. So, and then at the end of the week, get ready to rock, because I'll have to spend the night at another hotel, and you know, no ho. I can tell you one thing that I did that I'm proud of. I got rid of the bread, my Armenian bread. It had gotten to a point where it was causing me so many dietary issues, just like the milk did, that I'm starting to just realize that I can't have that anymore. And just like everything else I'm allergic to. After the last 4 days of having real legitimate problems eating that, I just come to understand that I can't have it, just like everything else. So I threw away the rest of that and won't be purchasing it anymore. So it is what it is, man. Just gotta align with what the Lord puts in front of you. If you're gonna have issues dietarily and you can't defy that, just because you want to taste something that you want to eat. You can't eat it. So that's what I've come to understand about that. I can't eat that bread. Maybe they put milk in it. Maybe it's something else that they put in it that I'm highly, highly allergic to. But my Armenian bread days are over. So that's why I'm telling people, like, man, when it comes to food, I can't really eat a whole lot. Like, it doesn't say there's any milk or any eggs in the bread itself when you look at the ingredients. But my stomach tells me that there's probably milk in there. So, yeah, stuff like that, man, you just can't do nothing about, man. You can't will yourself toward a tolerance for something you're allergic to. That's what I know. I've learned that the hard way. You think you can keep eating something over and over again, your body get used to it, it won't. It'll just destroy your body. So let that be a lesson to anybody who wants to go the lactose intolerant defiance way. Don't. It gets worse and worse and worse. That's all you find. But yeah, man, I just want to give y'all a little update. Maybe I'll shoot y'all another video before I head back, but I gotta be wary of how much of this battery I'm willing to use. But it's just been a good day, man. I ain't got no complaints about this day. Just want to get on this bus when it gets here and travel to where I need to travel, man. That's it. That is literally it. J910. I have yet to see it, but I'm sure it'll be here very soon. So that's what I gotta say. My name is BDF 44. I thank y'all for watching.